All right, so we're here on a special edition of Coffee Time with PT. My guest today is Silo Simon, Psylosymon. And we were out trudging through the Pacific Northwest, somewhere just outside of Vancouver, hunting for mushrooms.
Good morning.
There's Simon here and myself. Good morning. And it's looking pretty active. It's been wet for the past couple days, and lots of signs of life so far.
Oh yeah, it looks good. It looks good. We've had some heavy rain, so we're ready to rock. Oh, look at all this old horse shit. It's like what we were talking about before, man.
Yeah.
Anywhere there's horse shit, there's a chance you can find some rare magic mushroom.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it's pretty probably a pretty hit up area, right? Because it's like a national park, so there's people like kicking around all over the place, but I'm sure we'll bump into something else soon here.
For sure.
It's got the right trees, second growth. Got the right moss too, like step moss. These are good for chanterelles and lots of stuff like that. So, how's life been?
Yeah, pretty busy. Just got a job,
Nice.
and I just start tomorrow. Super pumped about, I guess. Going back to work, as pumped as you can get about that.
Oh yeah, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Gotta do it, man. It's all I do is work, so
Yeah.
it's nice to get out. Have a friggin' free day like this, just chill and get out in the forest.
Here's something.
Yeah. Mycena. So many different species of little brown mushrooms, the LBMs as we call them. But you flip them over and they got white gills. It's a good chance for mycenas. There's so many species of them.
What's this?
These are early red-belted polypore. Homatopsis pinicola. It's probably the most underutilized medicinal mushroom in the forest. They're everywhere. Everyone's crazy about reishi mushrooms and stuff, but like they're, just as good for your immune system, and they're good for people with Crohn's disease. There's like a good study of that. Look at these puffballs. These are sweet. Lycoperdum, I think. Nice and fresh. You could eat these butters. That's cool. Nice looking stump. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Mushrooms grow around mushrooms. That's a hint.
Team up.
Yeah. It's just like the right amount of moisture.
More over there.
Stuff there.
Yeah, it's a perfect day for this.
Mammalina or these. Oh man, I can't remember the name of those. It's so hard to remember everything, especially at the start of the season. You basically study your book hard for a month and a half or 2 months, and then
Get out into the field and forget it.
and then all year you forget all that shit.
Yeah.
And then you gotta try it all again the next year. That's why it's just accumulated knowledge after many years. Man, the amount of time guys like Paul Stamets must have spent to just to know everything. Wow.
Yeah.
I know lots of stuff that are here, right? But I don't know everything. And a
Look
lot
at
of
these.
it's doesn't necessarily get your attention because it's it's not edible and it's not a lot of times when you're out mushroom hunting, you got your eyes on the prize, right?
Yeah, you're out there for a specific reason.
Yeah, if you want to get a big bag of chanterelles or something, you want to be looking for those.
So your history in mycology goes back quite a ways, right? You've been doing this for a while.
Oh yeah. For some reason, I was really kind of interested in mushrooms, even when I was a kid, probably from shit like the Smurfs, right?
Yeah,
We grew up like in the early 80s, and a lot of that like fantasy style art, right? That always incorporated mushrooms. So I was interested like that, right? But come high school, yeah, I tried Liberty Caps for my first time. I was 13 and never looked back. I've been pretty much infatuated with, mushrooms and studying them and growing them and finding them and trading spores. I've been doing that all my life, probably longer than everything, even like skateboarding. I skateboarded most of my life, but I can't skateboard anymore. I can still hunt mushrooms. So, yeah, it's been a long time I've been into this stuff. It's kind of funny, actually. Pretty happy that the world's waking up to this kind of a lifestyle. Like, when you've been doing it for so long, and it was kind of considered weird for a while, like, and now everyone's like wants your knowledge.
Yeah.
It's a real different thing. and so, as a mushroom guy, I don't know. It's like, I've always had a hard time making money off mushrooms, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've never been into growing cadenzas or anything like that. Like, I grew lots of like exotics and shit, right? Like a lot of outdoor stuff and wood lovers. Like, I really like that. Like, like adding a mushroom to an environment and just year after year feeding it and like watching your babies grow. Love that shit. One of the coolest things. But yeah, to actually make money off it now, like, the world's going crazy over them now, and you're like, well, where am I gonna fit in this shit?
Yeah,
Where am I gonna fit in? Like, I have a unique perspective. I've been doing this for a long time, so that's kind of why I started the podcast, right? Like,
yeah.
why not talk about it? Like, I'm not doing anything illegal, so like, I might as well talk about it, share some knowledge, because there's a lot of people out there that want to know.
For sure.
I know I did when I was younger. Like, there wasn't really that much information. It was hard to get. Like, kind of jealous of kids now, like growing up with like all this vast body of knowledge. Like, where we used to, like, remember a library?
Yeah.
We used to have these things. Okay, kids, you go in and there's like these cue cards, and you go in alphabetical order. What the fuck are those things called again?
Dewey Decibels?
No. No, it was like where you look for the books, right? It's how everything was like listed in order before computers and shit. So you go and you flip through these little cards.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
Oh, there's the book.
Yeah.
It's on aisle 4, shelf 4. It's fuck. Now you just Google it and it's all there.
Yeah.
A million frickin' versions of anything you want. Cool.
So, yeah, anybody listening to this and that's unfamiliar, Simon has started a podcast of his own, and it's super informative and enriching. I've listened to it 3 times personally.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't even listened to it. Like, since I recorded it, I'm not one of those people that listens to their shit over and over.
Yeah, no, I was sort of busy the first time I did it, and I found myself like laughing, and then I was like, fuck, I probably just missed a bunch, so I went back and listened to it again, and then I had to play it for my girlfriend. So
Oh,
yeah.
nice. That's awesome, buddy. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's really well done, and it's entertaining and humorous, and
I love it, man.
so get your ass back in the studio and make more.
Like I said, with work, I'm really having a hard time getting time to be creative, and it's just like I'm kind of in a bubble here. Like, I just gotta burst it.
Yeah.
And my creativity is like, I don't know, man. I'm not a friggin' planner. Like, I just get the thought and I gotta just do it, right? When it comes to anything, writing music, writing songs, painting, if I get inspiration, it's just like, boom.
Yeah,
gotta do it. Right?
gotta have that muse, right? That kickoff.
Yeah, and I don't know what the block is right now. Like, I had a bunch of ideas for episodes, and it's just like, it just haven't worked out, right? And so, I don't know. Maybe I gotta be more flexible.
Yeah, what you need is heartbreak.
A little heartbreak.
Yeah, nothing inspires an artist quite like a broken heart.
Oh yeah, I'm a single guy. I get my heart broken all the time. But that's different inspiration.
Yeah, fair enough.
Musical inspiration. Yeah, it's the heartbreak. It's definitely the best way. Yeah, look at this forest. We've definitely come down a little bit. Gotten away from the steppe moss, unfortunately.
So do you hunt by looking at the trees, or is it just sort of like...
Well, the trees will tell you a lot, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're looking for like mycorrhizal species, like they have a symbiotic relationship with certain trees, right? So if you know what kind of trees are around, you can kind of like have an idea what you're looking for, right? What are we under here? These cedars. Yeah, beauty. It's weird. Cedar's so antifungal, right? Not that much.
Well,
Not that much grows on it.
it's somewhat toxic too, right?
Well, yeah, that's why we use it in building, right? But
Yeah.
it's got that antifungal property. It takes like, man, probably hundreds of years for any species to even like get a chance to break it down. Like it has to be. To me, it looks like it's like a relationship of moss and algae. There's only a couple species I even seen take out a cedar, and that's Phalis schwinnetzii. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but the Dyer's polypore. You find those taking out the roots of old cedars. And then Lichen umbellifera, I think it's called. And that symbiotically lives with the lichen on the moss. And it takes years and years for it to break it down. Yeah.
Morning.
Good.
Yeah, I've spent a number of years in the lumber industry, and if you get a cedar sliver, it's that extra uncomfortable, right? It's like an infection almost.
Yeah, totally. Poison. You got poison, son. What are we gonna find down here? So back to work tomorrow, eh? That's a bummer.
Yeah,
That's not a bummer. That's a good thing.
for sure.
We were worried about it, so
Yeah, for months,
when I was
man.
talking to you about it, you were worried about it, so
So
that's good. Good to get rid of that stress. Stress is a killer.
yeah,
Oh, look at the oysters up there. Oh yeah, they're up high though. Well, that's cool. Some fall oysters. What do they call them? The phoenix oysters. Pleurotus pulmonarius. I believe. Oh, there. Look at those right there. Oh my God, these are. Oh my God, I haven't found these in years. These are called elm oysters. Hypsizygus tessellatus. Oh, these are sweet, man. You get these in the grocery store called brown shimji. And they grow kind of like enoki, and they have like these little packages. And you'll find just these, they grow them till these just little babies like that. But in the wild, this species can get big, man, and they're freaking delicious. I had a log a bunch of years ago that had them, and they produce for about 5 years, and then they're gone forever.
Really?
So this is the first time I've seen this species in like probably like 3-4 years. Oh, that's so awesome. Dude, these are so sweet. Holy. That's a nice find. It's the rare shit that gets it for me, right?
Yeah.
Like, sweet. That's cool. Hypsizygus. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce it, but that's how I say it in my head. So, and I don't know Latin, so
Fuck.
correct me if you want.
Most of my followers are American, so they're gonna be making fun of us for our accents anyways. So
There's some nice little oysters. These are Pleurotus pulmonarius, the phoenix oyster. Very common grown species. Delicious. Beauties. This is good. Hey, we came down in elevation, now we're seeing things. It's trippy. I thought we were going to see less going down, but
and we're not like moving massive amounts of elevation difference either. It's it's pretty subtle.
yeah. Couple feet. It's all little microclimates though, right? It's like now that it's really, really raining hard, like shit goes everywhere, but when you're dealing with like a dry fall climate like we were before, like a week ago,
Yeah.
all about the microclimates and just finding like little spots because stuff wasn't growing everywhere. But you can still find stuff if you found the right little area. Oh, these are little Belites. I don't know if it stains blue though. No, not a blue stainer. So that would be Boletus zilarius, possibly, or maybe the cracked cat bleak. I don't know. These ones are pretty tough to tell apart sometimes. It's a bolete of some sort, at least. Oh, look at the oysters on that tree. Yeah, very viable food source. They grow in the spring and the fall, right?
Yeah.
So, and they pretty much take out any old alder. If you're in like any forest that has alder, any of the dead ones, they'll always have them. But I've also found them on birch once, which is kind of rare, and I've found them on fir once as well. Then in the spring we have, like here in BC, we have one called Pleurotus populinus, and it grows on like the low elevation cottonwood trees. To me, that's my favorite oyster. It's like a little bit meatier. For some reason, it's not big in the cultivation world yet. I don't know. I would think people would grow it. It's a good one. To me, it's nicer than phoenix oysters, than pulmonarius, I think.
Well, oyster is a pretty prolific mushroom.
Yeah. Super viable food source, man. Like, I wish I'd harvested them more because they're just like, they're so good for you. But you know how it is when you're a single guy, you don't do that much cooking. I still have a bag of chanterelles, and well, I made some Hericium the other night. I found those beautiful bear's teeth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hericium americanum. Woo, those are my favorite. But I broiled up a steak and just like put them all around it, and they got all crispy with like the oil and the meat juice. This is so good. So good. That's one of my favorite things to find. Kind of rare for me around here though.
Yeah, I've never seen it in a while.
I just have one spot.
Like
I was telling you, like I do a lot of just going and once you've been doing this for so long, you spend a lot of your time just harvesting what you already know.
Yeah.
You know, more than actually exploring, like, which is cool in one way, but you know, it's always nice to see new shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many directions and facets and, disciplines you can take with this.
Oh, totally, man. Totally.
And that's what keeps it exciting and like a long-term thing is because there's always something new to experience.
Always something new, right?
Or to learn. Yeah.
Well, every year is different. So it's hard to say what, like, there's some mushrooms that I've only found once in 10 years, right? So, like, is it that they don't fruit every year? Is it they only fruit like once every 10 years? Or, like, you know, you just never know. Or was it just perfect that 1 year?
Exactly.
And that's what it took. And it hasn't been perfect since.
Yeah. Morning.
Oh, there's a Starbucks up here?
Oh,
There
no.
is.
No. We imported.
Up the hill and around the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Starbucks. I never had Starbucks forever. And I just recently started going there because I kind of like being able to roll up in a drive-through and being able to get a friggin' pack of sliced apples. You know? That's like where my whole view on Starbucks changed when I realized that, like, that's really different to offer in the whole fast food industry. And, you know, I used to get suckered into breakfast sandwiches and shit every morning, and now I do that. With sliced fruit and a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah.
That's freaking sweet. I'll do that.
Yeah, it's much better than the.
I mean, really, I should just make it. But
Yeah.
I'm fucking lazy sometimes. Got so many things on the go. And when you got so many hobbies.
Yeah.
The fall is hard, man. If I'm not doing this, I'm fishing. You know? I'm going fishing and doing this at the same time.
What are you fishing for this time of year?
Oh. Yeah, man. I hooked one the other day, but I lost it. So, fish is another real big thing in my life. So, I used to work with wild salmon with fisheries for like 8 years. And, yeah, got a lot of respect for that species, you know. As a keystone species, they help fertilize this whole frickin' rainforest that we live in, right? Like, so many things live off salmon, and all they want to do is just come up and reproduce and be there for everyone to eat them.
Yeah.
You know? It's pretty awesome.
They kind of get the shit end of the stick in
They get the
evolution,
shit end
right?
of the stick,
and,
yeah, totally.
and especially in the circle of life.
Yeah, the circle of life. Yeah. Well, they're a big part of it, so
Yeah.
you know, I have a lot of respect for them.
Yeah.
What you got there? Oh, Copronopsis atramentaria, I believe. The other ink caps. That's cool. Edible ink cap. Atramentaria, I think, is the species name. Like, in all the ink caps, there's like, they've all been broken up. So there's Copronopsis, Copronellus, Caprinus. So it's like, which one is it again? Oh, look at them off the tree. That's beauty. But yeah, I think it's Copronopsis atramentaria. That's pretty sweet patch. Never eaten them, but they're totally edible. I haven't really eaten any of the ink caps. I don't know. The fact that they're just whatever that word is, deliquescing, basically melting. Put them in your fridge, right?
Yeah.
Like if you don't eat them right away. It's probably just a red belted polypore, but it's really tricky.
And this is way better than sitting in my dingy living room
Hey?
doing interviews. I'd much rather be
Wow, look at
walking.
this patch.
Wow, walking through the forest, having a conversation and a coffee.
Yeah, totally, hey?
Yeah.
Total different way of doing it. Pretty cool. Smoke a dude.
Yeah.
Hope you don't mind. Hope your viewers don't mind at home. I am a cannabis smoker, a pro cannabis.
No.
If you don't mind, because I don't.
Maybe a little bit of jealousy from our southern friends.
Ah, homies, come on. You guys got it pretty good down there. In some of the states, at least. Get your
Yeah.
asses to Colorado. Not California, though. You're burning.
Yeah.
I hear Texas is where everybody's going, though. Yeah, see, like, every friggin' old alder's got frickin' oysters. This one here, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Yeah, when the apocalypse breaks out, you gotta have a mushroom guy in your frickin' tribe, or you're fucked.
Yeah. Or you got to have a couple of dispendable assets.
Yeah, no, you know what? It's kind of funny, like, that I brought that up, but that's kind of part of the reason why I learned about foraging, actually.
Yeah.
Was I kind of, like, a long time ago, kind of felt like in my lifetime, shit was gonna go south. And if shit was gonna go south, I want to have some fucking knowledge.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't really care about school. I never went to school, right? Like, I'm not knocking school. School's great. But,
Yeah.
but that wasn't where I went. I had kids early in life, and all I could do is just work and do all my own learning on my own. So, and the learning I wanted to do was, you know, how to grow food, you know, how to grow vegetables, how to have a garden, how to forage, how to find mushrooms, how to make medicines is one that I started doing the last couple of years. How to make your own tinctures and shit like that. It's one thing to be able to find and identify things, but what are you going to do with it, right?
Right.
And now my dad's sick. My dad's 79. He's turning 80 next March. And he's in the best shape though, right? Like he fucking does yoga and Pilates. Like he's an inspiration for people. Like he's like one of those old guys that you're like, oh, you're not 80, you're only 60. And he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
man, I'm turning 80. But he's got problems with blood clotting in his leg. And it's at the point where, you know, the doctor's like, if you're not going to do the surgery, which he's not, he doesn't want to go under the knife. He said he's had a good run. Like he's a golfer, so he always says, I'm on my back nine, right?
Yeah.
He takes it with good humor, but he knows that like he's not immortal now, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
doctor
Yeah.
says, you know, this problem is probably going to lead to a stroke. And then they had some other testing that he's got something on his liver or something too. So
Oof.
now all I can do is just start making some frickin' medicine and pump it into my dad and seeing if I can prolong his life. You know? He's already in good shape already. Oh, look at the Amanita. Nice. That's a beauty. Expose the vulva. So, which Amanita? Like, it's gotta be just a variation of Muscaria, I think. Even though it's not pure red,
Hmm.
I would still think it's Muscaria. I'll have to check. But, or two. That's cool. That's a nice one. What was I saying? So yeah, like I was saying, I just gotta like start making these reishi tinctures and agaricon and like
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
much as I can do,
For
for my dad.
Yeah.
And
And
he's already
that's-
done his part, right?
Yeah.
So
Good on him for putting in the work, right? And staying
you know, and he
healthy.
doesn't want to go under the knife.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Mhm.
Like he's like, no way. So if I live my life. Love it. And then right next to us.
Oh, look
So-
at those sneaky bastards.
say a Cortinarius for sure. You have to spore print it. So people that are, if you're just getting into mushrooms, one of the main things you can do to help you know where to even start identifying a mushroom is to cut the stem off and put the cap down on a piece of paper and cover it up overnight. And it's going to drop a spore print. So from there, you get the color of the spore, and then you can flip through the book, and then you can be like, well, looks like it might have orange spores, so it's probably a Cortinarius. So, but that's how you start doing it. That's how you start keying it out. Because when you start out at trying to identify stuff, how do you know where to even start? You flip through a book and you're like, well, where to start? But that's like numero uno. Cool. Oh, nice and purple there, eh? So anyone out there hunting mushrooms thinking they're bluets, that's the thing. Like there's an edible mushroom called a bluet. They look very similar to that on top, but they wouldn't have orange spores, I believe. Lepistonida. So that is what? Amanita? Yeah, it definitely is an Amanita, but it's got no warts on it. Interesting. I wonder what species that is. Doesn't look like the one we saw before, that's for sure. But there's definitely a vulva down there. Now we gotta remember our way out of here. We're not paying attention. So look at those turkey tails right there. That is beauty. Denides versicolor. Highly medicinal. That's pretty cool. On one side, these are real turkey tails, and on this side, these are false turkey tails. So, false turkey tails have orange underside, where a real turkey tail is white. But from up top, they look almost the bloody same. That's cool. Over here. You know what I'm saying? When things grow together, everything grows together.